Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different video. It's not going to be on a book, but it's going to be on a book that was turned into a movie called The Vampire Academy Movie based on novels by Richelle Mead. So I'm a huge fan of Richelle Mead's books. I absolutely adore them. I love the Vampire Academy series. It's probably my top 5 favorite series. And when I knew that there was going to be a movie being made of it, I'm like, yes, this is going to be amazing. But then, of course, I was thinking people are going to judge it because of the name Vampire Academy, because that is a very judgy name, because Vampire Academy, just, you know, but if you have read the books, you know how amazing they are. Well, I saw the movie on Friday, and I'm really conflicted on how I feel about it. Like, it's not necessarily bad. I'm just, conflicted on, what I saw. I don't know. I feel like I need to see it again to get another review on it, but I'm just going to give it to you guys now what my thoughts and feelings are about it, because I think a lot of you will share the same thoughts and feelings, and I hope you guys do, because then I'll probably be the minority. And if you do not want to be spoiled on the Vampire Academy movie or the books, please leave now. I would hate to spoil you because they are fantastic books, and the movie is pretty awesome too, so I don't want to spoil either for you. So go out, read the books, go out, see the movie, either or, and then come back and watch this video, because I would love to have you listen to me talk about it over and over and over again. Okay, so now let's get started with the review on the Vampire Academy movie that is directed by Mark Waters and his brother, Daniel Waters, I think his name is, maybe. So I was really excited to see the Vampire Academy movie, but I feel like the way they advertised it was not to the best of their ability, best of what they could do, because I feel like it was advertised mainly for the young adult audience, the teenagers, because that's really what it felt like it was being introduced to. It was not brought into the adult audience whatsoever, even though I do know adults that have read the Vampire Academy series, and I wish that they had a less cheesy tone to it in the trailers, because that really set me back. That really made me feel like, are they going to be portraying this well? Because the director is the director of Mean Girls, and I feel like when I saw this movie, it had a bit too much of a Mean Girl aspect to it, and I feel like Mark Waters needed to separate those two movies, because he cannot bring his Mean Girls movie into a totally different film, totally different plot line. Yes, it's about girls in it, but that's pretty much the extent of it, and I really wish he didn't do that. This is not Mean Girls, it's Vampire Academy. So I really like the casting for this whole entire movie. I think Zoe Deutsch was the perfect Rose Hathaway. I know people were like, oh my gosh, she's not Rose Hathaway, she's not badass enough, her boobs aren't bigger. You guys said her boobs weren't bigger? Seriously? Is that, what you guys think about how she looks? Seriously, how about her acting ability? Are you joking me? Honestly, any scene that had Rose in it was, my favorite scene. She was a really good actress of Rose. I think Zoe Deutsch really brought out the character of Rose in such an amazing way, and I just loved it. The jokes she said really were just, perfectly timed and very sarcastic. She really had the persona of Rose down. Same thing with Danilo. People are like, wait, I don't know who he is. Oh, he's from Russia. Can he speak English? Ooh, he looks too old. Danilo was freaking fantastic in the movie, and I absolutely adored him. I do wish he had more scenes in it, though, because I feel like he only talked when necessary, when really he had a big influence over Rose's whole entire development in the books. When in the movie, he was just there for, the fighting scenes, and that's pretty much it, besides the training scenes. I really wish he was more in the movie as a prominent character than what they put him as. I absolutely love Dominic Sherwood, who played Christian Ozira. I really like Dom, though. I think he portrayed Christian to the best of his ability, and he was a really good actor. He definitely had that gloomy, tortured soul feel to him, and I really like that. My friend, she's like, Sasha, I think he's too pale. I'm like, he's a Maroi, he's supposed to be pale. So then we have Lucy Fry, who plays Princess Lissa Dragomir, and I think she played Lissa very well. I honestly did not like Lissa in the first books, and I didn't like her in the movie, so that's pretty good, because I didn't like how Lissa wanted to compel everybody into believing her story, to like her and all that, and I think that Lucy Fry really brought out her character in the first book to the best of her ability, and I was very happy to see that. Cameron Monaghan is such a good Mason, it's not even funny. He's so amazing, and such a good actor. I totally felt like he was Mason just looking at him. He looks just like Mason. I feel like the whole entire cast looks like their characters in the books, so that's what makes me so happy. And plus, Mason, he was so friend-zoned, just like he is in the books, and it was perfect. Just the whole entire portrayal of that was amazing. So 2 characters I thought were really overplayed and just not good whatsoever. Their lines were too just bad in general, and I just didn't enjoy seeing it, and I honestly cringed at some of their scenes, and that would be Mia and Headmistress Kurova. So first of all, let's break down Mia. Honestly, she was such a stereotypical mean girl in the movie that I cringed so many times whenever she spoke. Like, her lines were horrible. Like, seriously, does her baby have herpes? Like, oh my gosh. Like, it was just bad acting altogether. Like, I think that Sammy Gale, she has really good potential, but I don't think the lines that she was given were really brought out in this movie in a good way. Her whole entire script that she was given was just not good. The writers really messed up on that character, just badly. Then Headmistress Kurova, she's supposed to be like this hard-ass headmistress that everybody fears. She's supposed to be like the typical Russian woman. Like, I picture her with like the two side buns on her face, like that, and like very like. But honestly, she was like a pretty headmistress. Like, Olga something, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, was playing her, and I think that she's a great actress, but she was very overplayed, and I did not like that whatsoever. Like, I thought it was very, very weird how she was portrayed, and I just didn't see Headmistress Kurova in her whatsoever. I just didn't. Oh, and also another character that just really irked me, and I did not like how she was portrayed whatsoever, and that was Queen Tatiana. The actress, she was fine. I don't know, I don't like the way that they dressed her. Like, honestly, Queen Tatiana doesn't wear queen's garbs and crowns and all that. She wears business suits. That just really flowered up the whole entire portrayal of Queen Tatiana, and I really just did not like that. So in the movie, they had some scenes that weren't necessarily in the books, and I was fine with that. I'm all for adding in scenes to make the audience better understand the plot line and the novel if they have not read the books yet. So, like, for example, the first scene when they're entering Vampire Academy, and then all of a sudden Strigoi attack the cars, and then Dimitri opens a can of whoop ass, and it's like, I thought that was awesome. And you know what, I think that scene was important to help introduce what the Strigoi are, so I was totally fine for that, and I was all for it in the movie. So some people were like, why do they have uniforms on? In the books, there were no uniforms. Why do they have them in the movies? Honestly, I really liked how they added in the uniforms. I wouldn't mind seeing uniforms in the books, honestly. I think that just adds to the feel of St. Vladimir's, so get over it. And they have awesome uniforms. So I really, really like the scene where Christian lights that guy on fire who says that he and Jesse got it on with Rose the night before, and that she let them suck her blood, and then like Christian's like, I'm gonna light you on fire. That's not all right. And I'm like, go Christian, go. It's just how I pictured it in the books, and it was so awesome to see it play out before my very eyes. It's so awesome. So some of my favorite scenes in this whole entire movie were the fight scenes. They were absolutely amazing and wonderfully choreographed. Like, honestly, they felt so real, so badass, and I just love watching them. They were so entertaining and so just like they felt real, and those were some of the best parts in this movie because those were like the really depth of what Vampire Academy goes to. They're really rough and they can fight for the ones that they want to protect. It just shows like how awesome Guardians are. I just loved it, and it made me feel so awesome. It made me feel empowered, and I love feeling empowered at the end of a movie, and that really is what happened to me at the end of Vampire Academy. I'm like, I want to go kill this Strigoi. I want to stomach. I absolutely love the chemistry between Danila Kozlovsky and Zoe Deutsch. They were perfect. Rose Hathaway and Dmitry Belikov. Like, whatever scenes they were in together, I loved. Like, I loved the training scenes. Those were fantastic. Honestly, I was a little bit worried about his accent and how much English he could speak, but honestly, I think he did an amazing job. I do wish he had some more speaking lines because he is a very talented actor. He's very famous in Russia. So I would have liked to see that, but I think that they did an amazing job together. They had such chemistry, and they were just such an amazing couple. I was really happy of the choices that they made in casting for these two. Perfection. Can we just talk about the lust charm scene? Like, whew, I just want to play that over and over on replay for the rest of my life. That was so beautifully done. I loved it so much, and it was great. It was really, really well played out, and just how I pictured it in my head in the books. Like, it just makes me want to see the cabin scene so much. So I love how both of them kept each other on their toes the whole entire movie. Like, during training, she tried to attack him, and then he tried to attack her. He always brought her down, obviously, because he is Dmitry Belikov. But I thought that was wonderful. Some of the humor was like so funny. I was like so this close to peeing my pants. That close. And I just loved it because it was really like what the books were about. Like, the humor in the books are one of my favorite things about Vampire Academy. And I was really happy they did have those in the movies, because if they left that out, Sasha would be very mad. Very mad. But they didn't, and I was so happy to see that. And I was really happy to see that play out in the film. And they did it in an amazing way, so that's always a plus. So one of the things I think they did really well was the mystery that was playing out as to who is doing all these things to Lissa, who is killing all these animals around her, torturing her, making her see these things, like killing her cat. Like, that was really good that they sort of like kept that mystery hidden until they wanted you to know who actually was conspiring against her. And I thought it was excellently played out. So good. I like how they portrayed Viktor Dashkov as this really sickly guy, because that's how he was in the books, and I was worried that they would sort of like downgrade that in the movie, but they really didn't, and I was really happy to see that, because it really just showed how much of a shocker it would be when they find out that he was the guy that was conspiring against Lissa to use her to help restore him back to his normal health. Then when you find out that Natalie, his daughter, who is like the nerdy girl, who seems like harmless and just there, it turns out to be the person doing all these heinous acts to Lissa. Just knowing that, like seeing that play out on screen is like crazy, because you're like, they did that really well. Like, people who did not read the books are not expecting that. The scene where Rose is down in the jail cell talking to Viktor, and then all of a sudden Natalie comes prancing down there as a Strigoi. I thought that scene was so awesome. So good, so much like the books, and I was so happy to see that, because that was not a cheesy scene whatsoever. It's very straightforward. All of a sudden, like, when Dimitri comes down, he was so badass in the films. Oh my gosh, Dimitri was so awesome in this whole entire movie. Just seeing him like stab Natalie and not even hesitate was just so awesome, and Dimitri was so well played. Just good job, Daniela. Good job. I really like the character relationships in this whole entire movie. Rose and Lissa's relationship is closer than blood. They are blood sisters. And it was just amazing seeing their bond come to life. Like, I liked how Rose's eyes went over with a gold haze. People who don't read the books could get really confused and lost in that whole entire bond situation, but I think that it was really well played out and understandable in that way for people who did not read the book. So I was happy to see that, and happy to see that they did not mess that up, because honestly I think that they played that out very well. Rose and Dimitri's relationship was so awesome. I love how at the end of the movie, how she's like leaning in to kiss him and all of a sudden she flips him. She's like, I got you, yes, winner! I love that ending scene. I thought it was amazing. I also really like Christian and Lissa's relationship in this movie. They did have some rocky patches in their relationship, but overall, I think that was really, really well played out from the book to the movie, and I was really happy to see that. I feel kind of bad for people who did not read the books, because this movie was very fast-paced. The pacing of a movie has to be quicker than it is in the book. So, you know what? I understand that totally. I just feel kind of bad for people who did not read the books. So I feel like they didn't end the movie on a cliffhanger or anything like that, just because they wanted to be safe just in case there wasn't a second movie. So, smart choice on their hands. I just hope they have a second movie. Please. Please. I'm not ready to let this one go. Honestly, I wish they did have a different screenwriter and director, because I wish they had a screenwriter who did not make it as like cheesy as it seemed, because it's not a cheesy book. It was mainly the writer's fault and the director's fault for making it that way. So I don't blame the actors for it, because they're just following what the script says. But I do blame the director and the screenwriter. They could have done a better job, but they just didn't. And that really was one of the downfalls of this movie. The actors, though, were fantastic, and I was really happy with the choices they chose. But overall, this movie is a lot like the books, and that's really what matters at the end of the day. Like, I'll watch this movie over and over again, and I'll be happy and content with it. And I'm really happy that they did make it, because it did deserve a chance at a movie. What matters at the end of the day with these book-to-movie adaptations is that they're like the books, and I really think that Vampire Academy movie was definitely like the books, and I was really happy to see that, and I'm really proud that it did get a shot at a movie. I just wish that it will become a second movie, and I really hope it does, but you know what, it's all up in the air right now. It's not doing amazing in the box office, but it really deserves a chance, because it just gets better from there, and we can only keep our fingers crossed, because I can't take any more feels with my books becoming movies and then not becoming more movies because the stupid mistakes of the director and the screenwriter. So guys, I really believe in second chances, and I believe that the Vampire Academy series does deserve a second chance. It deserves a second chance because in the next book is Frostbite, and Adrian Avashkov is in it. So guys, go see Vampire Academy if you want to see Adrian Avashkov in the next movie, Frostbite. With a good screenwriter and a good director, I think that the series can go so far. It just didn't have the right screenwriter or director for this, but the casting was fantastic, and I'm so happy because of that. Also, Daniel Waters, if you trash Vampire Academy movie ever again, and tell me what you guys thought about the movie in the comment box below. I would love to know your opinions. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.